If your plants struggle to grow, water sits on the surface after rain, or your lawn looks weak despite regular care, the real problem might be hidden underground. Compacted soil is one of the most common causes of poor plant health, and many gardeners don't even realize they have it. So what exactly is compacted soil? Healthy soil contains tiny pockets of air between soil particles. These spaces allow water to move freely, roots to expand, and beneficial organisms to thrive. When soil becomes compacted, those air pockets disappear. The soil becomes dense and hard, making it difficult for roots to grow and access nutrients. Compaction usually happens because of repeated foot traffic, heavy equipment, construction work, excessive lawn mowing, or even working the soil when it is wet. Clay soils are especially vulnerable because their particles naturally pack together more tightly than sandy soils. One of the easiest ways to identify compacted soil is by looking at how water behaves. If rainwater forms puddles and remains on the surface for a long time, that's a major warning sign. Plants growing in compacted soil often look stunted, produce fewer flowers or vegetables, and develop shallow root systems. You may also notice that digging becomes much harder than it should be. The good news is that compacted soil can be fixed. One of the most effective solutions is adding organic matter. Compost is often considered the ultimate soil improver. As compost breaks down, it helps separate soil particles and creates new air pockets. It also feeds beneficial microorganisms that improve soil structure naturally. Instead of treating compost as a one-time solution, think of it as a long-term investment in soil health. Adding compost every year produces cumulative benefits that continue to improve the soil over time. For clay soils, organic matter is especially important. Many people make the mistake of adding sand to clay, hoping to loosen it. In reality, this can create an even harder concrete-like structure. Compost, leaf mold, and well-aged organic materials are far more effective and safer solutions. Another powerful technique is soil aeration. In gardens, a garden fork or broad fork can be used to gently loosen the soil without completely disturbing its natural structure. For lawns, core aeration is usually the best option. This process removes small plugs of soil, allowing air, water, and nutrients to reach deeper root zones. Unlike spike aeration, which simply pushes soil aside, core aeration actually reduces compaction. Nature can also help solve the problem. Deep-rooted cover crops act like living soil tools. Plants such as daikon radish, clover, and ryegrass send roots deep into compacted layers. As these roots grow, they create channels through the soil. When the plants eventually die and decompose, those channels remain, improving drainage and root penetration for future plants. One of the most overlooked allies in soil improvement is the earthworm. Earthworms continuously tunnel through the soil, creating pathways for air and water. Their castings are rich in nutrients and beneficial microbes. A healthy earthworm population is often one of the strongest indicators of healthy soil. Encouraging earthworms through compost and mulch can significantly accelerate soil recovery. But fixing compacted soil is only half the battle. Preventing future compaction is just as important. Creating designated pathways in the garden helps keep foot traffic away from growing areas. Raised beds are another excellent solution because gardeners rarely step directly on the soil. Avoid working the soil when it is wet, since wet soil compacts much more easily. Maintaining a layer of mulch also protects the soil surface from heavy rain and helps preserve its structure. The most important lesson is that healthy plants start with healthy soil. Many gardeners focus on fertilizers, pesticides, and watering schedules, but none of those can fully compensate for poor soil structure. By improving aeration, increasing organic matter, encouraging beneficial organisms, and preventing future compaction, you create an environment where roots can thrive. Remember, soil improvement is not an overnight process. Severely compacted soil may take months or even years to fully recover. But every step you take today brings your garden closer to healthier plants, stronger roots, better drainage, and larger harvests. When you invest in the soil, everything growing above it benefits. That's the real secret to a successful garden.